Hey, son, you better look at me when I'm talking to you. You ever heard that? This Barry Phelps with 10-Minute Torah, Day 4, Truma, talking about a contribution that goes up before Yah for the building of his house, his dwelling place, his tabernacle. One more time, Exodus, Shemot chapter 25, this time verse number 30 says, "And you shall put the showbread on the table before me continually." There is this small coffee table sized piece of furniture overlaid with gold that is placed inside the set apart place for the express purpose of being a resting place for what is traditionally called showbread, lechem hapanim. The word panim here is the word that we translate as faces, plural. Faces. It comes from a root word, panah, which means to turn toward. And so the idea is that as you turn one's face toward someone else, that they then have a visual of each other's face. We read over in Numbers chapter number 6, the blessing that Aaron is to place upon the people. Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahweh lift up his face upon you and give you shalom. Those last two verses in particular speak about how that Yah would turn his face toward us for favor. In times of distress, in times of perceived judgment, one might ask, "Oh Yah, why are you hiding your face from me?" And so to hide the face is to ignore someone. To turn your face from them is to dishonor them. But to turn one's face towards someone is to indicate to them, "I'm paying attention to you. My eyes are upon you." And we desire that to be a means of showing favor, of giving approval, of offering help, and sustain and maintenance of our need. And so Yah is saying to us with this bread that it has a character of his face toward us. How so? When Shabbat comes, many of us, we're making challah bread, and it's multiple surfaces, if you will. It is bread that is braided, and so there's these little knots looking like things on top of a loaf of bread. But that's not exactly what was placed on the table of showbread. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, Rashi in his description shows it more like a table with a rack system on top, wherein bread was slid into little shelves all the way up, 6 on each side, and that the bread was baked in such a way as it had multiple surfaces, more of a square box looking style bread with multiple surfaces on it, and that it would slide into then this system of shelves. That could be, I don't know exactly how it was actually made, but the bread was to be baked and so as to have faces or surfaces. The goal here is not only for Yah to show his face toward us, also then for us to turn our face toward him. And so the idea of turning ourselves back to the Father is to take our gaze from the wrong direction, where we're looking upon things of materialism and personal desires and worldly pursuits, if you will, and we turn ourselves back to him, facing him, and headed back in the right direction, shub, from which we get the idea of turning or repenting. So there is then the characteristic of Yah turning his face toward us. We turn in our face toward him. But there's a third part, and that is where we turn our faces toward one another. That is, that we seek to show favor to each other. In order to be rightly aligned with and see the face of Yah's favor, we must also then be rightly aligned with our brother and show him or her favor. If we go to Yeshua's teaching in the book of Matthew, in chapter number 5, beginning with verse 22, it says, "But I say to you that whoever is wroth with his brother without a cause shall be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Racha, shall be liable to the Sanhedrin. But whoever says, you fool, shall be liable to the fire of Gehenna. If then you bring your gift to the slaughter place, and there remember your brother holds whatever against you, leave your gift there before the slaughter place, and go first make peace with your brother, and then come and offer your gift." That is, you must be rightly aligned with your brother before you can be rightly aligned with Yah, even in the act of worship. Be well-minded with your opponent promptly while you are on the way with him, lest your opponent deliver you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. If we turn the page and go to chapter 6 of Matthew, verses 14 and 15, and teaching us about how to pray, Yeshua makes comments on one verse. And that is the verse, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." That's verse 12. But verse 14 and 15 says, "For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father shall also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither shall your Father forgive you your trespasses." So even our forgiveness is dependent upon forgiving someone else. If I'm walking bitterly with someone, then that suggests that Yah is bitter toward me. If I'm forgiving, showing compassion, then Yah will forgive me and show me compassion. So what we're being taught in is that we can't treat our brother differently than we want Yah to treat ourselves. Chapter 7, verse 9 through 12. "Or is there a man among you who, if his son asks for bread, shall give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, shall he give him a snake? If you then, being wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father who is in the heavens give what is good to those who ask him? Therefore," verse 12, "whatever you wish men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the Torah and the prophets." The teaching of Yeshua here, teaching us that right relationship among the brothers facilitates and opportunes the presence of Yah being favorable toward us. So if we are throwing stones at some other group, some other person, some other ministry, some other entity, and then turning to Yah and expecting favor, we may be severely disappointed. In the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 9 through 11, "The one who says he is in the light and hates his brother is in the darkness until now. The one who loves his brother stays in the light, and there is no stumbling block in him. But the one who hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes." The bread of surfaces, the bread of faces, literally. It is there to indicate for us, in the presence of the Most High, I must remember my brother, and I must turn my face toward him, and then ask, may you turn your face toward me. Oh, Yah, look at me. See if there's any wicked way within me, and purge me, O Yah, of anything that is unclean. So I rightly relate with you, and then I rightly relate also with my brother, and he with me. So let's all try to get along today, pray for one another, Be compassionate. Show mercy. And I'll see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.